Local 24 presents Celebrate Memphis. This live, local, and exclusive program comes to you from Tomley Park as we say, Happy Birthday, Memphis! Tonight's show is brought to you by First South Financial, banking with friends since 1957. Pink Palace Museum, history, science, nature, and more. Stella Rosa. Celebrate Memphis and good times with Stella Rosa. And by Ford. Mid-South Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Celebrate Memphis. Built Ford Top. Memphis Tourism. Celebrating 200 years of welcoming the world to Memphis. By the Memphis Zoo. Connecting people with wildlife. Dixon Gallery and Gardens. Every day is a beautiful day at the Dixon. Andy B's Entertainment Center. Creating memories to last a lifetime. SKB. SKB takes pride in their work. You will take pride in their results. Onyx. Jazz, wine, dine, mingle, and mix. And by Cambridge Clinic. Setting new standards in physical therapy.
Good evening, everyone, and happy birthday, Memphis. We are celebrating the city's bicentennial, and I have to say, we are doing it in grand fashion. We have pulled out all the stops, and it's very impressive. If you're not down here, you're going to wish you were. It's pretty fun. Thanks for joining us for this Local 24 special presentation. I'm Richard Ransom.
And I'm Katina Rankin, and Local 24 is a proud supporting partner of a new century of soul, the official bicentennial celebration. And boy, do we have a fun-filled 2 hours for you at home.
We've already had a pretty fun afternoon.
Yes.
The gates opened at 3 in the afternoon. We'll show you some of the pictures here in a minute, but I have to say, what we're going to be covering over these next 2 hours is going to be just a lot of fun, folks. We're going to make you feel the pride that we certainly feel here now of the city and everything that it has accomplished over these past 200 years. We're going to get into why this particular Memphis in May weekend isn't featuring an honored country as it's done for years and years, but it's all about Memphis this year.
All about the Bluff City and why we are so proud to live in the 901.
Indeed we are. All right, we're going to show you a live look over the crowds here who are here to celebrate Memphis. And you're looking at the first pictures from Drone 24. It is the maiden voyage of our drone. Then look at that shot of downtown.
Isn't that wonderful? It's provided to us by our chief photographer, Romeo Lucchese. And look at the mighty Mississippi and the backdrop of the Bluff City. Just absolutely gorgeous right before sunset.
Thousands, literally thousands, have come down to Tomley Park, both people and insects, I might add, to hear Memphis-made music. There's all kinds of Memphis-made food, local vendors. I mean, the theme is Memphis from top to bottom. Today's festival is the culmination of Memphis in May and celebrating all things special that we all love about living in the 901.
We want to give you a live look over the crowds here at Celebrate Memphis, and to do that, we have our crews stationed everywhere. We have our Chelsea Chandler on a rooftop, and Rudy Williams and Brad Broders, they are down in the crowd.
But first, let's go with Local 24 News reporter Brad Broders. Brad, what can you tell us?
Well, Richard and Katina, a lot going on already this afternoon. I'm standing next to a picnic table. It's not just any picnic table. Just a couple of hours ago, it set a new Guinness World Record, the longest picnic table in world history, more than 1,300 feet. Right now, people are enjoying a lot of music. They're about to watch a drone show coming out on the river top. They also enjoyed an air show earlier today. Going back to that picnic table, organizers really wanted it to show a sense of community. The community coming together, sitting at one common table. They certainly did that. Hundreds of people sat at that table, more than 1,300 feet long. It took 500 man-hours to construct. It's built. The record is set. They've enjoyed music. They continue to enjoy some opera, some ballet right now. There's going to be more aerial activities later on tonight. Beautiful weather, a little warmer. Very warmer earlier, but the temperatures are cooling off as the sun is setting here at Tomley Park. A gorgeous evening, a lot of activity. Speaking of activity, I have another reporter with a good vantage point. That is Chelsea Chandler. She's atop the Hugh Hotel. Let's send it to her and see what's going on in her neck of the woods.
All right, Brad. Yeah, we're atop the Hugh Hotel right now, and the views have been absolutely gorgeous. It was a little hot earlier when we were checking out the air show, but the sun is setting, and there is nothing like a Memphis sunset. And right now, we're starting to see the lights come on the Big M Bridge. Later, we'll be between both the Harahan and the DeSoto Bridge, so we're going to have quite the light show. Best show in town and best view in town. We can actually see the park over my shoulder. We can see everyone partying, having a good time, but we've got this lovely breeze coming in. We've all got, well, most of us have got drinks in our hands. We're enjoying it, and I can't wait for the rest of the evening to celebrate this beautiful city. We're going to sit it down to Rudy, see what's going on in the park.
Most of us have drinks in our hands, Chelsea. Well, you're in a great place to be, and I'm at a great place too, because you can see behind me people are still coming inside the gate. It's the best time to be here right now. Parents are bringing their kids out. You've got strollers that are coming in. People are bringing their ice chest in. People are still taking advantage of the world's longest picnic table here tonight. We're enjoying some great music over here. We've had several artists giving us some very Memphis music, and we're celebrating Memphis. So if you're not here, get down here. If not, continue to enjoy right there. But feels great, like Chelsea said and Brad said. We're going to kick it over to John back in the studio to tell us exactly what to expect tonight. John?
All right, thanks a lot, Rudy. And here's what you can expect. Celebrate Memphis, 84 degrees at 8 o'clock. Settling down the temperature, not necessarily the humidity. You have to remember in situations like this to drink plenty of water. Down to 82 at 9. Keep in mind, it shouldn't be this warm, but I haven't heard any complaints from people down there because we could have severe weather this time of year. None of that. 80 at 10 o'clock. Finally setting possibly below 80 by 10 o'clock. Notice on the river, folks, we are no rain anywhere near downtown Memphis tonight. It is a pleasant night, even though it's a little warm, yes, for late May. But like I said, you don't have the storms to worry about. It's 86 right now, but it will be falling eventually into the low 80s. Now, the heat index, yes, that has been an issue today. But, guys, if you're drinking enough water, you don't have to worry about it. Richard and Katina, it's a lot better than worrying about storms or lightning coming in. You don't have to worry about that tonight, guys.
John, thank you. And coming up in this hour, we'll trace the rich history of music in Memphis, from W.C. Handy to the $1 Million Quartet, and of course, Elvis.
Yeah, Memphis music history, pretty rich. We'll show you the history of barbecue in Memphis, speaking of rich, and how local chefs have put their own spin on other Southern food. And we'll hit the court and the pitch for a look at sports in the Bluff City. Grizz Nation, the 901 Football Club, and of course, this guy named Penny Hardaway, the Tigers head basketball coach. Stay here. Welcome back to Local 24's live from Beale Street, from Tomley Park, from Memphis in May, are celebrating the bicentennial of Memphis, and we've got a great vantage point, Katina. Look at this view and look at all the people who are here tonight.
Absolutely wonderful. And you know, we have that huge crowd that you see there because people came out here tonight to hear music and, of course, see those fireworks. Listen, when people come to Memphis, Richard, they come generally for two things, right?
Absolutely.
Beale Street, as you mentioned earlier, and then Graceland, because both of those landmarks, well, they scream music.
No other city in the country can match Memphis when it comes to music. As we all know, there's no other city in the world that has name and more songs than Memphis.
They have funk, they have rock and roll, they have jazz, they have it all. So as the city marks its bicentennial, we're celebrating the history of Memphis music.
If you take a dart and just throw it on a Memphis map, it's sure to land on a landmark with a musical note. Take Memphis's most iconic street, Beale Street. Dating back to the 1800s, and until this very day, you'll hear jazz along the street. Even a little rock and roll.
And here along Beale Street, you'll find Handy Park, named after W.C. Handy, the man who some say hit a high note and put the Bluff City on the chart.
Handy is known as the father of the blues, credited with making Memphis the home of the blues, the first man to copyright a blues song. It's enough to make many on Bill Street flip out, or at least take a flip or two down the street. Not far from Bill Street is Memphis's Rock and Soul Museum. Inside, you'll see exhibits showcasing the names that put Memphis music on the map.
We may be the most important music city in the world to modern music because blues was put out to the world here. Rock and roll was invented here.
From the Rock and Soul Museum, head across the street and it's the Memphis Music Hall of Fame. You'll see Memphis artists who inspired generations of musicians to come.
Really has always been appreciated, I think, outside of Memphis, especially in Europe, especially Northern Europe, which of course, to them, seeing Otis Redding and Booker T and the MGs in 1967 was like the Beatles coming to the United States in 1964. People just lost their minds.
Travel on a quiet street south of downtown and you'll find where American soul music was born. Here at Stax, you'll see Isaac Hayes' 24-karat gold tricked-out Cadillac, Otis Redding's clothing, and even a real church inside where many generous started.
Stax is one of those rare places where black and white could work together and be together in relative harmony during a time of great, unrest.
Turn a few corners and there sits Royal Studios. It's one of the oldest continuously operating music recording studios in the world. It's widely known for producing artists such as Al Green, Chuck Berry, John Mayer, and Rod Stewart.
I just feel like a custodian of the Memphis sound and what my father created and what all of the other great Memphis artists exemplified.
Near downtown, yet another recording studio, Sun Studio. It's where Elvis Presley recorded, as well as Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis.
It blew the racial barriers in radio and music out the window, man. When he got out of church on Sundays, he'd go by the black church that was there and sit out and listen to the music.
And for many folks who flock here from all over the world, the granddaddy stop of them all is Presley's Graceland.
His mansion, private gardens, aircraft, and more leave visitors all shook up every year. So from this look around town, you can see on just about every corner, Memphis is music.
How about that?
Love it.
We love Memphis music.
Yes,
So does Kevin Kane over here, the head of the Memphis Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thanks for being here. You're one of many guests we're going to get to talk to over the next couple of hours. You have to be so proud to see what this city has become in the time. I've been interviewing you for almost 3 decades.
Absolutely.